So today we're going to be talking about creating confidence, and we're going to be talking about the mental game. They pretty much go hand in hand. And if you stay to the end of this video, you're going to avoid gruesome learning curve of baseball. Enough talking, let's jump into it, okay? As a player, you don't want to come out and say, man, I don't have any confidence. Like, you can't really share that to your teammates. You're not going to share that to your parents, and you're not going to share that to your coach about you not having confidence, not believing in yourself. So this is a topic I wanted to talk about today because I understand you young players, especially you, Donovan. I understand you. Thanks for jumping on, Donovan. It took me 20 years to learn this, and you're going to get this now, and you'll be able to implement in your game, and it's going to push you to that next level, because if you have no confidence, you're not going to perform at your very best. I mean, you're not even going to perform. That's the whole game is about believing in yourself, being confident. So with that said, we're going to jump in. So there are 4 tips we got here. The first one is working on your craft. An example of that is if you're shaking someone's hand. The first time you shake someone's hand, you're going to be a little bit feeling uncomfortable in that situation. But the second time, you're going to feel more familiar and more confident. And if you do it again, the third time and the fourth time, the more times you do it, you're going to feel more comfortable and confident when you do that. And that's what working on your craft is. And that's what all the coaches and the players, they say, all right, just keep hitting, keep doing, keep putting the work in. You'll feel confident because you keep doing it, you'll be familiar with it. So that's the first one. Working hard on your craft, perfect your craft, keep working on it daily. The more you do it, the more confident you're going to be. Second one, this one's super important, and this is something that no one talks about. Positive self-talk, the things you say to yourself. You know that little guy in your head is trying to bring you down, telling you when you walk up to the plate, oh man, this guy throws hard, or don't mess up this situation, or you gotta drive him in. Last time you didn't drive him in. That little guy is talking in your head, and your job is not to listen but quiet him down. And the way you do that, you say positive self-talk. You say out loud things like, I am the man, I got this, I'm gonna hit this runner in. You say it out loud. That's the only way you can change your emotions. See, if you think it, you're not changing that emotion, and that's what that is. You're like, you need to say it out loud to get the benefit. For example, I think I talked about it a few days ago about being in a slump. What happens when you're in a slump, you hit and you feel uncomfortable when you're at the plate. You're hitting up there, you're feeling uncomfortable, you hit the ball hard, you're down on yourself because you're not getting the hit, and there's just all these negative feelings and thoughts going through your mind. But if you want to get out of a slump, you need to switch it. So instead of thinking about the negative, you start thinking about the positive. And say you go 0 for 4, but you hit 2 balls hard. You start saying, man, I hit 2 balls hard, I'm close. Or let's say you struck out, but you've seen 9 pitches. Instead of seeing the result as a strikeout, you're saying to yourself, oh man, I seen 8 pitches. And if you know anything about the game, the more pitches you see, you're going to give yourself a better opportunity to be successful. That's a good thing. Seeing 8 pitches, 9 pitches, you battled and then you struck out. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So you say, man, I seen 8, 9 pitches. I'm close. I'm about to get hot. You change those thoughts in your head, and that flips everything. And then you're going to drastically see improvements. And if you stay like that the entire time, that's when you control the game instead of letting the game control you. What happens is we go through rough patches and we're looking at the results instead of focusing on our thoughts in the process. So you young players out there, you're playing. Brian, he may be on right now. Comment below if you're on, Brian. But Brian, young player, great, has high upside. He pitches, again, he has high upside. He reminds me of Ankiel, the Cardinals. Dirty curveball, power curveball. Anyways, one of the things that he does is he gets so caught up in the game, he let his thoughts run away, and then the game controls him. And with someone that has that so much upside, what he needs to learn is to take a deep breath, relax, and focus on things that are positive. Don't be so caught up in the result and caught up in what you're doing wrong. And that will change your whole game. So take a deep breath. It's almost like you got to think like you're back playing against your friend in the front yard. You know, you don't think about the mistakes you make when you're playing in the front yard. You just go out there and you're competing and you're playing. And you're like, oh, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. And you see how your thoughts are just different. And you're like, all right, I got you. That's how we got to be when we're on the field. We need to be that person, competitive, and not let our negative thoughts drown us as a player. And another thing you could do is, and Brian, I told him about this, is you can record an audio of yourself speaking in a positive way. For example, I have a recording of myself telling myself I'm a great hitter. I know that might sound weird, but I'm telling myself that. And I have this real lengthy message that I wrote out everything. Say for example, so I was playing with the Cardinals 2012, and they were like, hey, you need to hit for more RBIs. And so what I did was I took my audio and I told myself I drive runners in, and I kept telling myself that. I kept listening to myself saying that I hit runners in when runners in scoring position, and I'm the best hitter on my team. A lot of positive self-talk. And before the games, I would listen to this audio, and I would shake my head and be like, yeah, that's who I am. That is the player I am. And I'm reconfirming the positive things that I have said to myself in my audio before the game. Most people just listen to their music. I listen to my music until it was a certain point, and then I listen to my audio, and that literally, your confidence is out the roof. You want to run through a wall. That's how pumped up you are. And I'm telling you, your stats just go boom, skyrocket, because you have this confidence. You're not worried. You're not holding yourself back. You're letting yourself free. And your game's going to change, man, because you become in control. So the third one, body language. Body language. Let's say we have player A and player B. Player A walks around with his head low. You know, he walks up to the field. No one can really even notice him. And you got player B who walks up to the plate head high. He got a little swagger to him. Which player would you notice on that field? Definitely you notice player B. And college coaches notice that too. You walk to the plate head high. I mean, you need to just ask yourself, who's your favorite player and what would that player do? For example, let's just say Mike Trout. You never see Mike Trout like this. You always see him laughing and stuff. And you're probably going to make an excuse and say, oh, that's because he's the best player in the game. But he believes that. And so you need to believe that. Believe that you got the skills and walk like you do. And see, that's the key, you know, that's the key. And you all can do it. It's just, you want to be that player that goes 0 for 4 and no one notices. Because that guy still walks around like, all right, I'll get him. I'm about to get him tomorrow. And number 4, your bubble. Everybody has a bubble in the baseball field. Everybody has a bubble. And everyone's trying to get in that bubble. Players are trying to get in that bubble. And what I mean is that everyone's trying to tell you what you're doing wrong, or they're trying to buzz jokes at you and hate on you. Your parents are telling you, oh, you're doing this wrong. Your coach is telling you what you're doing wrong. Say yes, agree with them, but protect your bubble. Don't let things start getting in and affect you, and then you can't perform. You have that bubble. Don't let anybody in. You know what I mean? And like I said, the higher you go up, more people are going to try to push and get through that bubble. You're going to have hecklers in the stands in college. They're going to read up on all your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and they're going to be shouting at you. They're going to know your girlfriend. They're going to know your mom. They're going to know everything about you. They're going to be out there talking crap to you. They're going to know your GPA. They're going to know everything. And they're going to be out there busting jokes on you all day. And then you go professionally. Then you got more people just out there talking crap. You got the players who are competing with you, and they're trying to, you know, they're throwing their jabs too. And you just got to protect yourself. When something is being said, let it come through the ear and out the other, and just keep going. Don't let it stay in you. Don't let it Don't let it resonate and stay there. Don't let it marinate. Just let it go in through this ear and out through it. It's almost like when your parents give you a lecture and they keep giving you a lecture, you know, when you start looking at them, like looking right through them, you don't hear any words they say. You just looking right through them. It's just going through this ear and out the other. That's how you gotta be with the real world when you're playing ball. Gotta have some tough skin. Don't let anything get in your bubble, okay? And protect your bubble. So those are the 4 things that I believe that'll help you create that confidence and then dominate lack of confidence and help you in your mental game so you can consistently perform. You know, if you take, for example, Derek Jeter. Everybody talked about Derek Jeter, how he was so good and he was even kill. Because that guy always walked around with this head high. He was confident, and he worked on his craft daily. What else? Positive self-talk. He believed in himself. That's without a doubt he did. And he didn't let anybody get in his bubble. He didn't let the toughest place to play, New York, he didn't let anybody get in his bubble. And a real true story about Derek Jeter. When he first got drafted in the first round, he made, I think it was like 45 errors as shortstop his first year. And so they told him the following year when he came to spring training that they wanted to move him to second base. And Derek Jeter said, no, I'm not moving to second base. And he stayed in, worked his butt off, and now he's the Derek Jeter that you all know. But he was at a fringe where they didn't believe in him, but he believed in himself. So that's another one. I'm gonna add that number 5. That one just popped in as a bonus. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. And that's Derek Jeter, and that's my message today. I think that was a great one. What do you guys think? Comment below. I want you guys to comment. I appreciate you joining on. Brian, you my man. Donovan, you my man too. I appreciate you guys jumping on.